All right, so this training video is actually going to cover a couple different things related to the newest Apex version. We've recently updated it to support the new bulk ops format. So up until now, it's just the legacy format. Now we've got the new format as an option. You can still use the legacy format if you want, but you can toggle this little selection here to new, and then when you authorize it, you're going to get a new format menu, where the only difference is this step 2. We've added kind of an optimization file script that is going to take our new bulk file format and format it in a way that just makes it easier to work with. So that's really the only change. Then everything else is very similar to, if you're in the members area, all the training videos below. Basically, all of those are going to be applicable both to the legacy format and the new version. So you can check those out after this one. I did want to show you the new kind of onboarding for this newest version. It is a little bit more streamlined. I'm going to assume you've already authorized your copy, so this kind of upper section here. I know I don't have the email and password plugged in, but go back and watch the authorize video and you'll be able to get to this point where the menu is actually up. But after that, actually getting the data into Apex is pretty simple. You're just going to go to this onboarding and then run through these 3 steps. This first one, you're just going to open up Seller Central. If you get an error up here kind of in your URL that says pop-up blocker, make sure you turn that off and then go back and hit the button again. But it's just going to open up these 2 windows. One of them is going to take you to your inventory reports. The other is going to take you to your fee preview report section of Seller Central. All you're going to need to do is from the inventory report, download your all listing file, and then from your fee preview report, download your, I usually do CSV version of your fee preview report. But you can see here, you just got to select the report type for your inventory report. This takes a second to load. All right, so select that, grab your all listing report, and then just download that, save it to either your Google Drive or desktop, wherever you know where it is. Here, if it doesn't open you actually to the fee preview, just go down and hit fee preview there. Then you're going to download your CSV, download, and then again, save that to either your desktop or it'll save down in local storage of your browser as well. So when you have that, just import both those files into the Apex copy. So I'm just going to go up to File, Import, and I've got some demo test files here. So let's do the all listing report first. So I'm just going to insert new sheet, import data. And all we're using this for is just to get some of the listing information from the report here, and then we're going to plug it into the next step. So I'm going to go onboarding, paste all listing, and fee preview report data. So that's going to open up a new tab here. All right, so if you've used Apex in the past, you'll notice that this is a lot more simplified version of the Seller Central report tab. So all we're going to do is from the all listing report, basically we can grab all 3 of those, or we really only need the SKU and the ASIN, but I'm going to grab all 3. So there's a seller SKU, here's the item name, so I'm just going to drag that after the seller SKU, and then I need the ASIN from column Q. All right, and I'm just going to grab this block of data now and go over to Seller Central reports and just paste these values. You can hit Control-Shift-V and you can see I just paste the data in there. So I'm done with this one now. I can just delete it. You actually don't need the fee preview report data unless you want to use the the calculate profits feature of the SKU dashboard. I'll show you that here in a few minutes, but let's go ahead and import the data, just show you how to do it. So you're going to go import, and same deal, insert new sheet. All right, and I'm just going to grab the data I know we need. So let's see. Or actually, let me just grab it one at a time. So you need the SKU, copy that, put it over here. Control-Shift-V. Your price, sales price, those are usually next to each other. We used to have it so you could paste in the entire fee preview report, but we found that there's a lot of markets that it doesn't organize the same, so it was kind of becoming a pain to coordinate that. But just paste in your price, sales price. Some people have these the same value. Some will have your sales price as a lower value. And then your estimated fee total, I think that's like column O typically. or not. Estimated fee total, column S. Double check that. You can just check the column header, but that's going to be your Amazon fees. All right, and then that's the last one we need. Control-Shift-V. Make sure you don't overwrite this last column here. This is a calculated column. It just takes whichever is lowest out of your prices that you imported. And then after you're done with that, you're pretty well set. You can just delete this guy. All right, and then we can even hide that if we want. I'm going to leave it in there for now, but go to onboarding and sync products dashboard. This is going to take the data from your all listing report and put it over on our SKU dashboard. Just build that out for us really quick. All right, one change you can see here is this little tacos symbol. In the previous versions, we've had it to where you could customize and enter like FBA or FBM to distinguish your SKUs. That wasn't really that useful because most people knew which SKU was which. So we've added this tacos button here that you can now, I'll have another video for it, but you can actually import your overall sales metrics and then calculate your tacos and put it there in case you want to set some bid inputs based on that. Or sessions. There's some available custom columns here that you can essentially add some new metrics. But other than that, you're pretty well done with the onboarding. The next step is going to be very similar to the onboarding video that's beneath this one, where you're going to go and get your first bulk sheet. This time, though, it's going to be our new bulk sheet format. So I'm just going to hit Get Bulk Sheet. And again, you'll want to be logged into Amazon, but this is going to take you to the Bulk Ops Manager, and we're just going to download our first new bulk file format and then save it to our Google Drive folder or your desktop, wherever you want to save it. All right, and then once that opens, you'll notice the new kind of beta section up here. One thing to note, if you're still using the legacy version of Apex, you'll want to make sure you toggle this to legacy both before you download new files or upload new files, or else you'll get some errors. But we're going to be going over the new format in this video, so just make sure this new beta format is selected. And then let's say I want to do like 60 days for my first bulk file. You're going to want to deselect this because we want to see campaign items with 0 impressions. I don't really care to see the brand asset data. I'm going to exclude that rather. And then the nice thing you can do now too, since Apex currently doesn't support the sponsored display yet, you can choose to exclude that. If you're just doing your sponsored products, you can choose to exclude your sponsored brands and vice versa. So there's some additional options there, but you're just going to hit create spreadsheet, and then once that downloads, it'll be down here. You can click download and then save it to your Google Drive or your desktop. One thing I'll note is if you click this button and you have an error to where it's not letting you save it, you just need to go over here to the left side and click that button one time, hit bulk operations, and it kind of refreshes this section. Some users are having issues with that, but it'll refresh the page, and there's an entity ID that sometimes doesn't get plugged into the URL up there, but you should be able to, once you refresh it, actually download the file. Once you've got it downloaded, you're just going to be back into Apex and go up to File, Import. You can locate your file. If you've saved it to your desktop, you're going to have to go to Upload and then upload it, but basically just importing the file. So here's my 60-day bulk new format, and you're going to click Insert New Sheet, Import Data, and this is just going to bring your bulk file data into Apex, and it's going to organize it in new tabs here. This demo file I have has kind of all the tabs that you'll see, but the one that you may download just has 1 or 2. All right, so once those tabs come in, you're just going to go up to the menu here and click Optimize File, and then pick, if I'm doing sponsored products, which I'll do first, I'm going to click Sponsored Products. You're going to get an option to remove paused rows if you want. That's just going to make things run more efficiently. If you don't care to re-enable some that have been paused, you can go ahead and hit yes. I'm going to hit no in this case, and this is just going to kind of optimize my file for everything in there. Once you get the finished script, you're going to actually go back to your Google Drive folder. All right, and then when you go to your root directory of your Google Drive folder, you'll notice automatically that there's kind of 2 main folders now that get created for all FBAExcel tools. You've got your export files, where the file we just created actually went to automatically, and then you've also just got a general FBAExcel tools folder, and this is going to organize all of the tools into a subfolder. So all your Apex copy that I'm using now, for example, gets saved here, and then you'll have, if you have the other tools that you're using, they'll be in the applicable subdirectories. But we need to know that basically just all our export files from any of the FBAExcel tools get put into this new FBAExcel export directory. So this is the one we just kind of optimized and created. So now the difference from the new bulk file format Apex kind of process versus the legacy version is in this new format, you need to delete kind of this old sponsored products campaigns tab. So I'm just going to click there, hit delete, hit OK. All right, and then I'm going to go up to File, Import, and then I'm just going to grab that newly revised copy, and I'm going to insert that, import data. All right, and then once that data is in here, it's pretty easy. You're just going to go up and initialize. This is going to be the exact same process as before. You just hit sponsored products because that's the one we're working on right now. It's going to automatically initialize this sheet and just make it a lot more user-friendly, easier to use, and just kind of set it up for some of the optimization features that we have. So you can see it automatically deleted all those extra tabs. You just got kind of your bulk ops view tab that you'll recognize if you watch the additional training below. And then once it's in this format, you're pretty well set and kind of in that mode that all the other training videos are set up for. So that's probably where I'll stop this video that you're watching now with relating to sponsored products. Then we're going to go over and do the sponsored brands version just to kind of show you that setup process, which is identical. The only difference is we're going to be picking the sponsored product or sponsored brands file rather than the sponsored products file. So the initialization process here is almost done. So you'll wait till you get a finished script kind of notification up here in the upper header. You can see right now it says running script still, and you got this green bar. So it does take a few seconds to kind of finish up. All right, so there's our finished script and we're good to go. And you'll notice if you watch the videos below that it's going to be very consistent to what you're seeing there. There's a few nuances and differences, but for the most part, everything's going to look the same. All right, so that is the sponsored products kind of process. I will see you guys in the next training video, and I appreciate it. See ya.